Hey guys, welcome in to the program. We are live for episode 167. The last couple weeks we've been pretty blessed with some awesome guests and some awesome shows, but this week you're stuck with me and Blue, and you're gonna like it. Hi,
take it.
Take it or leave it. This is what you got. So, welcome in. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. How you been? Other than all life, I guess. What you been up to lately?
Yeah, man, just hanging in there, still dealing with the heart stuff, like supposed to be letting it heal. I still get some little blips of arrhythmias once in a while that I feel, but the doctor's like, that's fine, it's got to heal. It takes like 3 months or whatever. And I'm like, dang it, man. So just dealing with that, but all in all, doing pretty well. Been playing a lot of Gray Zone. Been playing some ABI.
The waiting room. Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've been playing ABI. Yeah, we'll get into it here shortly. But you're gonna have to talk me down. You're gonna have to talk me down because I'm getting too excited. You need to bring me back to earth and lower my expectations a little bit because I do it all the time. You've been here. I do it all the time. I get a little excited.
Get ready to pre-order again, guys.
Just so, yeah, I mean, everybody's pre-ordering. That is something interesting they did say today. When 0.3 drops, the price of Gray Zone is going up about $5 to $10 per edition because it's going to be more stuff. So that's kind of what they said at the beginning. Like, if you're buying early access stuff, or if you're kind of putting your money in and supporting early access, your reward is a cheaper price, and as it gets more closer and closer to being finished, it's going to be more expensive. So. We shall get into that. Everybody's pre-ordering Battlefield. I do it every week. This expensive edition, Battlefield's coming back. Everybody get excited. How you been, man? How's your weekend?
Good, man. Just got back from a little camping trip this weekend, so that was fun. A little just quick 2-day one. Saw an old friend of mine. We might go if everything goes well. If he gets a day off, I should say, because he used to be a national truck driver. Now he's a local. So he used to do American Truck Simulator, but in real life,
a true hoss.
A true hoss. But the good thing about it is that he had all that money saved up from just being on the road for like years, and he's got like 2 safes just full of guns. He's got like everything from like a 50 Beowulf AR to like competition pistols, just cause he doesn't do any competitions, but they're competition grade handguns. Nice. Which is crazy to see. So then he's got that, and then we might go hog hunting. I might do that this by the end of this month. So we'll see. Might do like a drive down South Florida, actually, do some private land stuff. Spend the day out there, and then all night we'll be up in the tree stand.
Did you say Texas?
South Florida.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I snapped out of it a second. I got a hog hunt trip coming up pretty soon too. I got to pick a weekend in the next month or two, but I'm going to try to do the same thing in Texas.
Got you. Yeah. Well, it'll be my first time doing a legit hog hunt, because the last time I did it was like with spears. I mean, I guess it's more legit with spears, but it was like in a tree stand, wait till they're above you and then just stab down. But this is like long range. I mean, ARs and whatever else we got. And then I'll actually, this time I'm gonna learn how to take it, clean, all that stuff, skin it, load it in the back of the truck. We got to drag it like 200 meters and stuff like that, most likely. So it'll be fun. I think the last hog they had was like 200 pounds or something like that.
About right.
So these guys get big out there.
Sometimes the littler one, I mean, pretty much all the time, the littler ones taste better. So
that's what he was saying. Like the guy, that my friend, he was like, I didn't really like the taste of this one. It was like really gamey. So I was like, I get it.
There's something about the older ones and their hormones that like gets in the muscles. I read up on it before I went the last time, but I forgot it all. So that's what you get for being old. Welcome to old age, baby.
It gets very interesting
I think
the older you get.
all my brain memory turns into RAM. It's random or rapid access memory or whatever. It's just temporary, like
Oh, it just
computer
all of a
RAM.
sudden, yeah, it just
It's
comes
like
in.
there, I
Yep.
can use it quickly, but then it's gone. So that's just
And then it's gone.
that's how my brain works now. So that's fun for me.
But yeah, I'm just gotta do that. But yeah, I mean, I tried out those like thermocell mosquito repellent things just to see if they worked, and it barely worked. Like not for the price. I had like the little one that clips on,
Yeah.
to your belt, and I was like, my kids mosquito patches worked better because mosquitoes bite, dude. I literally like the entire trip. I did not get bit once. The second we went to his house, I got bit 3 times on like the same freaking arm. I was like, come on, but it was cool. I've been doing a lot more just like in real life stuff, like we were checking out each other's trucks. He's got a new Ford
Uh,
Ranger, that he got set up and stuff like that. So because he was going out like in the boonies with like a Kia, so he's like, I need a because those dirt roads they get very small, and then you got guys coming this way with a trailer, so he
yeah.
had to like come up on an embankment, and there's like basically water on both sides. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need something that sits up just a little bit higher. Um,
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was a good test. And then I've been watching I finished the last couple 3 seasons of Andor, the Star Wars series on Disney. Been enjoying that. Been really cool to get back into like Star Wars that I actually enjoy, because lately it's been crap by Disney. But this was really good. Very dark and gritty.
Man, it's been so
They
long
actually
since I've
dude,
watched this show.
they say shit. They said, I think, twice in this series.
Man,
But season 1 they said shit, and season 2 one guy said shit. So like to hear that in Star Wars,
it's a big deal.
it's a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. I didn't think they knew that word in a galaxy far, far away.
In the future past or wherever it is, wherever Star Wars takes place a long time ago.
Yeah, well, it's a different galaxy, whole different, But yeah,
Allegedly.
man, I allegedly, but that's pretty much all I've been doing. Just doing that, and then sticking up with Incursion, which we'll talk about later. Just
Community managing.
community managing and social media taken care of and all that stuff. So I'll be making the dev vlog as well for that. So
Nice. Yeah, looking forward to that. There's going to be some good updates down the road for that game. I feel like it's good.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been some screenshots. I saw the screenshots on Twitter of like the what is it? I'll pull those up.
We'll
Yeah,
talk about
sorry.
that when we get
Sorry.
there. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting
Don't
excited.
overshoot it. Don't overshoot it.
I'm getting
I
excited.
know. I know. Justin's in chat. He was ready. He saw that. He saw.
It's a little teaser, but nah, man. With yeah, I just have been like focused on healing up with my heart and stuff, so I haven't been doing much. I haven't been doing much to the gym. I've just been working, being a dad, and streaming. It's kind of what I've been doing, and that takes up pretty much everything. Because if I'm not working, I'm being a dad. If I'm not doing either one of those, I'm streaming. So it's been a wild. It's a wild season of life over here, man.
Got Mother's Day coming up too this weekend.
Yeah, I got to get that sorted out. My folks are actually coming to visit us this weekend, and they've only done that like 2 times since I've been here in like 7 years. So
got you.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
We're excited.
We're actually celebrating Mother's Day together. They're coming to our Sunday service, and then from there we're gonna go get tacos afterwards.
I would do it, dude.
Excited.
I would.
That's it.
We're taking my son fishing for the first time, so it's gonna be a big
Ooh.
deal. It's gonna be a big deal. We're gonna go slam some crappie, and it's gonna be wild.
That's gonna be fun.
He's gonna short circuit and talk about it forever. I give him a ride on the mower sometimes, and he'll sit up in his crib at night pretending he's driving the mower. Like, I'm just mowing. You can hear him on the camera. Mow it, gotta turn. And then the other day, I'll tell one more proud dad story, and then we'll get into video games. I'm sorry, guys. I have to.
How old is he again?
He's 2. 2 and well, so February 2 and 3 months, 2 and a quarter.
Got you.
So he helped me change the oil on our Honda Pilot, and of course I cut my finger, and when I skinned my knuckles with the wrench and stuff. So the other day on his toy tractor, he calls oil Oloy, He's like, Mom, gotta change the oil. And he crawled underneath this little pedal tractor and he's like, Mom, hand me a filter. And it's like, okay, she pretended. And then she's like, oh, Mom, need a Band-Aid. And I was like,
That's cool, man.
Yeah, needs a filter and a Band-Aid, just like Dad. I'm always skinning my knuckles, man. But yeah, it's pretty funny. So
he saw me. My son saw me do the oil change on my brother's Volkswagen, but he got kind of bored quick. So
that'll happen.
There was 2 dogs. He rather play with the dogs,
yeah,
so I get
squirrel.
it. I get it. Squirrel.
So
good times.
All right.
Good dad stuff.
So, sorry, guys. Sorry about the dad talk. Let's get into video games.
You got 2 dads. You got 2 dads hanging out, sir.
Yeah. So we'll go backwards, but to preface this conversation just a little bit, I am a little bit underwhelmed with the Arena Breakout new season. We'll get into it a little bit. They did not change the microtransactions as much as I'd hoped. Just let's just say it that way. Let's just leave it at that for now, and we'll get into it in a little bit. But on the other hand, I am overly excited, and I need Blue to talk me down just a little bit because I can tell I'm getting overhyped for this update. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the Grayzone 0.3 update, the Winds of War update. If you've been following the channel and probably the podcast, I think we've talked about it on here. We talked about it a fair amount last week with Rick.
Yeah,
I don't know if we got into like all the stuff they're going to be adding.
We couldn't really before the stream, and plus, like she said, she did more back end stuff, so
yeah,
she was going to be as excited as excited as you are right now, pretty much.
yeah. But they did a stream today where they had like Drewski, Noise Guy, Rilo.
Was that live gameplay or was that pre-recorded?
Yeah, no, it was live. They had them in studio.
Oh, okay.
They were cutting around to different gameplay, but it was ultra chaotic. But I don't know, man. Like the reason
when you put creators in that kind of space, by the way, it's gonna get chaotic because it's not.
But I think I think the real game, like release with everyday people, is gonna be maybe not all the way, but a percentage as chaotic as this was with the features they're adding. Because for the first time in this game, you're gonna be able to find PvP at will, like whenever you want to fight people. And this is going to be one of the only instances I can think of having in a shooter, especially like a milsim type shooter, of having open world, no timer, anything goes PvP, emergent. You never know when you're going to kind of know when now. But I mean, like there's no circle pushing you in. There's no raid timer. There's no set spawns. It's just fight, you know, and with unlimited space and stuff, it's going to be crazy.
Is the fobs, or I guess the cops, coming this update?
Yeah, that's one of the big deals. So that's what they were showing. They had them taking a cop, and then if you guys can see on screen now, sorry, audio listeners, it also shows areas, and it comes over the radio. It talks about that there are when there's just PMCs fighting. So if your faction takes hits, it pops up an area and highlights it on the map that says PvP is happening here. It comes on the radios taking fire from enemy PMCs. But they had the mortars in here too, so you can call in airstrikes.
I did see that. Yeah, that was cool, man.
It was extra chaotic too because they had a ton of money. They gave the creators a ton of money. Mortars are going to be like 30 grand a piece. So they're going to be like,
yeah, it's going to be you have to really pick and choose and be strategic with it.
They're going to be expensive, and people were worried about them. But I think due to the fact that they're going to be ultra expensive, there won't be too many of them. And I think they balanced them fairly good. I don't think very many people died from them. They were calling them in like crazy because they had so much money. And a lot of times what they were doing is just making people move. And when they got hit, it would just injure them pretty bad. So they had like a fairly good sized AoE, but like they weren't really killing a lot of people. And I think that's pretty good balance. Because, you know, you're not risking really much at all calling them in. So they shouldn't like kill people too much, but it's good. I think it's a cool mechanic on the surface, at least. I haven't played it, but like it seems like a good mechanic for if you have in a game where you have anything goes. A lot of times the meta evolves of don't move, of just sit there.
It gets very stagnant. You know what?
And so it can get people moving.
It brings up a really interesting point of like I saw I forgot who tweeted it out, but it was like, all right, we had battle royales, we had we're having the extraction shooter renaissance, just everyone hopping on that trend. What's next? And I think this is getting to that next style of this because it's not really
You're supposed to help my
your
hype.
traditional.
You're making it worse.
No, listen, because I love games like take PlanetSide for instance, like that never-ending, ongoing conflict with just a ton of people, and the front lines are always changing. This feels like it's heading towards that direction a little bit, and I know I'm supposed to not get you more excited, but so like when I first heard of like the PvP zones and the cops, I'm just thinking like that's too many things happening all at once. It's gonna just flood the map. It's gonna be just a chaotic mess. But I mean, I'm just imagining like a big group of players. Like you get a clan worth of players on the same faction that could turn the tide, and then you'll have another clan that's on the other faction. Like, guys, we're getting attacked this way. Everyone get on. You're gonna have like damn near like faction wars happening on
Yeah.
the map,
Oh, it's gonna
which is gonna be
balloon.
like,
But
dude, that could be so cool to see. And then just to be like the lone, what's the Lemang Institute? What's the one? I think the
LRI,
LRI.
the main
Like
recovery initiative.
those guys are usually like the lower in numbers. So just be like, guys, we need to stay away. We need to kind of move around. So
But
like,
that's the thing though. Like there's gonna be this chaotic crap, crazy stuff happening on the map. But with the indicators of where it's happening, if you want to quest and
mm-hmm,
not deal with it, you don't have to go there. And you can disengage anytime because you have a whole massive map that you can go somewhere else, like when if you're done fighting. And then the other factor
yeah,
that is like I thought about, and Justin had a good point. He was worried about like once you're done with the quest and there's not as many ways to earn money, are you gonna, go broke? But you can always switch over to the PvE mode and level the same character and go around, loot high tier stuff, clear POIs, and not have to do that. I was also kind of surprised with the amount of map updates. The map is going to feel way more alive. They added all the cops. There's like 36 of them. So there's like 36 bases you can take to spawn from. And also one of the things I didn't think about during the gameplay, what was cool about the cops that I didn't think about was when you're out and about, and I've done this, been playing again, and you've been out operating a long time and you're out of ammo or something, like you've run out of ammo or you run out
yeah,
of food or something. If you take a nearby cop, you have access to the vendors and your stash. So instead of having to fly
correct, yeah,
back to resupply, you can go take a cop and you can get your supplies from there.
yep. Stay closer to the fight. Stay closer into the area for sure.
Less
Yeah,
chopper rides
that's.
and stuff, and you're always doing something. So I don't know, but like where
Mm-hmm.
you said this could be the next thing, that's why I was so hyped at the beginning of this game and why I was hyping it up and covering it, because the idea on paper of the persistent open world in this setting just appealed to me so much, man. Like anything
Yeah.
can happen, and it's like a true sandbox of unpredictability, of you never know what you're going to run into. But it just didn't have enough stuff to do in the first couple wipes to hold mine and a lot of people's attention. But now where you add PvP, where that can hold your attention, because PvP is dynamic and never the same twice. You never know what's going to happen when you're fighting another player. To have more of
Mm-hmm.
that, to have a constant fail safe way of finding PvP, to be able to find it whenever you want to. And like, I mean, there's just going to be the cops taking, then that's going to be a beacon on the map that people are going to want to take. There's going to be dynamic quests that pop up around. There's going to be PMC conflict zones that are going to pop up around, and you have all that stuff going on. But then you think about like the cops, like when you start to get a fight going around those, like you can try to just reattack those because you'll see that the enemy players still hold them, so you know they're going to be there. Or you can go decide to go take a nearby one, and then you kind of know where they're going to be coming from and watch it. And like there's just like these fights could be crazy, man. There could be some
Yep.
crazy
Yep.
long, grueling fights, man.
I think that's why I was even like, again, I just wasn't such a fan of the game in the beginning because of just the way it released, and not, and even when I was getting like decent frames, it was just lack of content. So I had, like not that great optimization and lack of content. Of course, a bunch of people just left. And I think that, I mean, look, the player base was, exploded on day one, but the game just couldn't hold up. But I would happily assume that there's a ton of people still just keeping an eye on this game, just not playing it right now. And I wonder, I don't know if this is gonna bring back all of those players. I don't think so. I'm thinking at least, like, if I'm generous, maybe 15 to 20K, but maybe realistically like 10K at the beginning. It depends. It depends though, because even a 10, 20 player increase would be really good. Because I want to see this game at its full potential, especially if you're including more PvP. You're gonna need players to fill those roles anyways.
Yeah.
Um, it's I just kind of wish like the game released in this state because I think it would have had a higher continuous player base right now. But now I know, now I see the vision more, which means like, okay, you're getting your foundation is building up pretty solid, and you still have a bunch more content down the pipeline that's not just including weapons and different locations, but story and lore. And you're still gonna have that in my favorite stalker poster in the back behind me, that roadside picnic, you know, background as well. So like, okay, all right, I think I'm getting it. I really hope, one, the optimization is as, because I was watching some of the frame rates of like Noise Guy and Rilo and Drewski and those guys and whatnot, and I did see a couple dips here and there. Of course, I saw the dips when they're flying, but that's just because you're getting such a huge
It's still
overview of everything.
it's still
You know,
also
I
I was gonna say it's still
what's up?
also really dipping when the ADS, the picture in picture thing, like that's still.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot. It was like it went from, you know, and it was like it was playable. I saw like the lowest I saw, I think when like Rilo was like getting shot up and he was like aiming down. So it was all blurry and he was aiming with like a 4x scope. It was like it dipped down to like 50 to 60 FPS and stuff like that. But you know, compared to his 80, 90 average just walking around in a jungle at night with some rain in the background as well too. So it was like it was pretty good. I just, you know, that could be, and I know they said what are their potato mode
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
coming as well
Good call.
too,
I
you
forgot about
know?
that. Yeah, so for
So,
those of you
yeah.
that are struggling to play this game, they did say today that they are coming out with a even a lower graphic setting to hopefully catch some more lower end machines and get more people to be able to run it. They're not going to call it that in game, which I think they should, because that they
They
said that in
should.
they
The
said
whole
in
chat was
stream
going
it's gonna,
off.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's stuck. But they in the stream they jokingly called it potato mode. So there's some new lower settings coming to hopefully get some people some better frame rates on older hardware. But yeah, we talked about that into my in my stream, is like, you know, where there's a spectrum of, like, you know, basically minimum specs. Do you know, make it to where it runs on everybody's machine, but people with high end hardware have like wasted their money on good hardware? Or do you go over here and you make it super next gen where people are utilizing the full potential of their more expensive hardware, but leaving some of these people behind? There's like and a
Yeah.
lot of games kind of try to shoot in the middle, but this one is going higher onto the a next gen, you know, the latest versions of Unreal 5. You have to have a good machine to run it. But I also was kind of thinking about it, and chat mentioned this as well. If the game fully releases in like 2027, there will probably be, you know, it runs good on 40 series cards. It
There's
runs
gonna be a lot more
okay at
40
30.
series cards out there by
Yeah,
that year, I
I mean,
think.
we'll probably
Yeah.
have 60 series by then. So it's going to be running good on the latest 3 generations of cards by the time it gets to a 1.0. So like that's also
Yeah.
something to think about with it being in early access. Like there's going to be an increase in technology by the time this game um releases. But
Hmm.
yeah, I
Yeah,
get the
yeah, that clip
frustration.
right there of like the light and the point shooting Rilo right now. Sorry, audio listeners, but like just the light poking through the railing and like bouncing off the walls and like like again just said in chat, like it looks really good at least, but it's like it does suffer still. And then also I saw Rilo specifically. I don't know who he was shooting, but he was putting bullets into one of the, I think, AI or something like that, and they just were not going down. So like I'm curious, is that still an issue with like the, you know, whole health internal organ system they got going on
Yeah, I
as
don't
well
know.
too?
I don't know if that's fully fleshed out yet or they're still working on it. It's much better than release. Like I've been playing the last couple weeks. It's much better.
I've been watching you and another YouTuber kind of just like play it recently a lot more, and I can see like guys going down headshot, one hit. It's like, okay, all right, at least these guys are kind of going down a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they are for sure, but you still get those ones that take a ton of rounds. And I think it's because again, if you don't know, it uses like a body cavity and wound channel simulation. And
mhm.
a lot of times, especially later in the wipe, if you're using high pin ammo, if you're using big penetration ammo, it does not make a big wound channel. And if you miss vital organs, you won't kill them. You can shoot them like in the no man's land of the abdomen or in the leg or in the arm all you want to, and they're
Yeah,
not going to die. You have to hit a vital organ. And sometimes that can get a little buggy feeling. It might not be, but it just kind of it feels crappy when you have 308 and you shoot an AI with nothing with a tank top on 6 times with a 308 and he doesn't die. Like, it feels weird. So there are some instances in this game, and some people were saying like it really sucked to try to watch the gameplay because it was hard to see at night through the nods in the rain. I'm like, bro, if you have nods at night in the rain, it sucks to see in real life. Like it just sucks. Like night.
it's better than just normal, vision, and it's definitely not going to give away your position like a flashlight would. So,
But yeah, but
but
what I
it's like,
was
how do you get it to where if it's like good gameplay mechanics and realistic
yeah.
vision,
So that's the other thing I'm saying. That's the other
Yeah.
spectrum there is. There's the full like milsim realism and there's the arcadey gamifiness. And like, do you go all the way up to try to make it realistic because it's cool, but you can go so realistic that it might not be as fun. Like, and
Yeah.
do you pull
Yeah.
it back and gamify things just a little bit? That's the other spectrum that this game is kind of fighting its way on because they've got a lot of realistic stuff. But man, I was noticing some stuff like last night I was playing we went to Fort Nerith and I was shooting at a AI and I hit the handrail and I was shooting BT tracers and the tracer ricocheted and like you could see the little green streak go pew up into the air. And then it was so cool, dude. Like just seeing like the little things that are in there. And there's like little details in there like the voodoo scope. You actually, to get the voodoo to light up, it's solar powered like real life, so you look up at the sun for a little bit and then your voodoo lights up. Like it's like
Interesting.
there's like little details like that, man, that are just like really cool in this game that are kind of undersold a little bit, but I'm excited to see what other details are coming to the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Seeing like the nods and the peripheral vision around it and stuff like that. But
Yeah, and how nods have like the really crappy depth of field where your gun's blurry when you have nods on, because they focus like for out. It's pretty
correct.
cool. And there and in
Yeah.
the rain and stuff,
You gotta set it for the depth you want. Yeah.
and when there's like rain and stuff, it's like you get fog on your lenses and stuff. Like, but
Yeah, that
the
was really cool to see. Yeah. I mean, kind of like crappy, because you can't really like, I don't, is there a wipe function, for it?
I'm thinking I said that there needed to be lootable anti-fog treatment and lootable rain X. So like you can put rain X on your goggles and then you're good in the rain. But if you guys didn't notice also though, hats and goggles and stuff affect how much rain goes on your screen. So like if you wear a boonie hat, you're good and can see pretty good. If you take the hat off, the rain gets on your screen. It gets on simulates like your eyes. So
That's pretty cool.
there's a ton of attention to detail in these updates, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Some of the
Immersion
things.
was never going to be an issue for this game. That's for sure.
No, no. But yeah, that's what I thought, man. If you like you open a toolbox, find a little thing of rain X, like, oh sick. And treat your goggles real quick. Then you're like ready to rock. But the one thing I did notice with the weather is the atmosphere of it was perfect. Like with like how when it's cloudy, that dark kind of cover over everything, and then like the haze, like the fog kind of at a distance, dude. It like the vibe of it looked really cool. Oh, I can say also, a lot of people wanted a date, and this is gonna frustrate people quite a bit. We didn't get a date for the official release of the patch, but they did say early access for creators is May 17th through 21st. And your boy Crash did get in. We got in. So
Hell yeah.
I can announce that I'll be playing and streaming and making content starting on the 17th.
Yeah, I
And
did
then
hear too. They were like 99% the game would be done like around that time. So relatively, hopefully, quickly it should be coming out.
man,
But it's they're like I kept seeing them go like hopefully, you know. So it's like I guess we'll
yeah.
see. I don't know if it's gonna be like if it ends the 21st of this month. It's like is it gonna come out the week after, 2 weeks
I
after?
personally, I
I'm
feel like it'll
thinking
be the next
two
day.
weeks.
I think they'll do it
You
right
think you think
after.
it's that quick?
Mm, I think they'll turn it
Interesting.
right around. I think they're using the creator playtest as a last thing to find any crazy bugs. And if there aren't any bugs, which I don't think there are very many based on the playtest feedback, that they'll just crank it out, is what I think. But
I'm thinking a good week.
you
If
think a week?
I'm thinking a good week.
I think people are going to be mad. I think the more people that are finding out are like, dude, the creators get to play it first. What, like, they, you know how it happens, which
I
I
mean, that's look.
empathize with.
They get no matter. Yeah, they get that no matter what. You know.
I get it though. Like that does suck. Like you've been waiting for this update, and then you got to watch some ding dong on YouTube play it.
Hi.
But I get the FOMO, man. I don't write that off totally. I get it. So that does suck, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like from the beginning when they, called this thing like an open world persistent server thing set in a realistic grounded like military PMC setting with all the crap going on and the lore and the PvP and like all the crazy stuff that can happen in here and just a living world. I've always been excited for it. And I think this is going to be our biggest step towards that vision of always having something
Yeah.
to do and the map feeling more alive, because right now you can fly around, try to look for PvP, look for something to do and not find anything. But
And
in
now
here,
you'll know where it's
you
happening.
can know where stuff's going down and get in on it if you want to. So just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
And it's
hopeful.
like it's cool to see like UE5 kind of get its finally starting to come to shape for this game in particular, because there's some really cool tools that you can use in Unreal Engine 5, and optimization is usually the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, like the particle system, like the prop wash of like when it's the helicopter's flying through the rain and you see the mist coming off the blades, like the fog of the mist
I'm
from the
curious
rain,
if
which is
they'll
cool.
do that one effect with, I forgot what it's called, but like when there's like a bunch of dust that kicks up and then the blades hit it creates the spark, or like it hits the sand
Oh, I
and
hadn't
dust
seen
so
that.
hard it makes like a halo effect.
Whoa, that's cool.
Almost, it's like a glowing effect. I forgot the name of it.
I hadn't seen that.
We saw it on Black Hawk helicopters.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't
But
think it. Now that you say that, that makes sense. It would do that, but no, it's the weather. They nailed it, dude. It looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to a game that's just like, I feel like it's going to be the epitome of immersion, dude. Like you settle in, man. Like you're out in Lemang, you got a bunch of operations to pull off. You could come across PMCs at any time. You ride the helicopter one time at the beginning, you go out, you get your cops where you want to go, and then you ride it back when you're done. Like way less time on the chopper. Um it's going to be sweet. Armbands were cool. I noticed that right away in the gameplay, so you can see at a glance because it gets a little hairy trying to figure out where your teammates are. So armbands were cool. At night, it's still like you don't know what the hell's going on at night. It's just a disaster. Night is a complete cluster. Which it probably is in real life unless you're like super trained. And guess what? We're not. So it's wild out there. But yeah, looking forward to it. The other thing that was cool that popped up was the air tags. So like, did you heard about that, Blue?
yeah. So you can
they,
like know where your body's at.
Yeah, so I can't remember who it was. It was Drewski or something. Was like, oh shit, I have somebody. It gave him a prompt on his tablet that he's carrying a tagged item. It's like, and you didn't know what it doesn't tell you what it is, but you just know that something you have on you has a tag on it, so they can see on the map where you're going with their stuff for a certain amount of time. So that was like really cool. The other thing I noticed about the cops that's good info is it actually shows, and I don't know about this. It shows if it's taken, it's red if it's taken by an enemy faction, and it's blue if it's taken by your faction. I was a little bit worried about that because, man, when you take a cop, it's going to be red on all the other two factions map, and people are going to be coming. I thought it might be a little better, and we'll see. I thought it might be a little better if the cops were like gray or blue.
It'd be, or to be honest, I was kind of wondering if it'd be like faction colored.
But yeah, but I kind of want it to be where there's only two instead of three of every faction, there's only two statuses, either friendly or not. So you wouldn't know if it was neutral or taken by an enemy faction.
Oh, so you would show up and then all of a sudden you'd see there's people there.
Yeah, so you would have to go
Yeah.
in, and that means like that also means that would give a little bit more of an advantage to taking it, because I think when you take a cop, you're going to be a bullseye. Like the other factions are going to be coming when they see that, and I thought it would be a little bit cooler if it was just a little bit more, I don't know, unpredictable. If it was just like gray, but you didn't know like who it
It'd
was.
be cool if it was like if it, you can only tell if it's enemy cop if there's friendlies around it that are currently fighting. So like you can tell exactly where your friendlies are, but the second they all go down or they're all gone, it goes back to being gray. So maybe like within a certain radius, it'll like show on the tablet. But
Oh yeah, yeah. Like once you get close, then you'd be like, oh.
yeah, because it's like, okay, now I have eyes on the cop. I can tell if it's enemy or not. So
Yeah. All right, then. Well, yeah, man. That's the story with that. I'm just like ultra excited, dude, for this update, and I probably should calm down because there's probably something I'm not thinking about that's gonna mess it up. But
you know what they need to do though, as well too. They need to add a third person mode. Isn't that true? Right.
all right, guys, that's a good show. We will catch you all next week. It's been a good one.
I just seen
Dude,
all
yeah,
the
man.
stuff with
I am-
that poll was hilarious.
Dude,
That poll was
I
hilarious.
am
Man.
absolutely at war with the Big Fry boys, man. Like about third person versus first person. It's really funny. I was like, I just heckle them so much, and they get worked up, and it's really a good time because they're all third person fans. Because, well, basically, let's just lay it all out on the line. The reason that Big Fry and them and all the old heads like third person is because SOCOM. And SOCOM was just an early PvP shooter, and it was a novelty of just playing with people over the internet, and you didn't know how shitty third person was because there wasn't anything else. So you just didn't know.
Okay.
You just didn't know. And now that we know things and we've evolved as gamers and there's other things, we know that first person
saying
is
people
the way
who
to
like
play.
third person just aren't evolved enough.
Well, they just have nostalgia. It's not their fault. It's just nostalgia. But it's fine. They'll learn. They'll figure it out.
You don't want to look at your operator while you're playing, you know?
They'll figure it out.
See how
it's just
cool he looks,
turd.
man.
It's just the turd peaks, man. It's just the turd.
What about those twitch drops you're gonna get on Gray Zone? You're not gonna be able to see your character, rocking that cool black flannel, you know? No.
Hey, I will have a fanny pack as well. But it's just the peeking and stuff that I hate, but it's not a big deal. I really, it's both modes and both. If I'm being perfectly honest, both modes and both game modes can be good. But I just prefer first person for like I feel like it's a little bit more fair. And also, secondly,
for me, it's the immersion. It's the immersion. That's really what it comes down to.
That
I'm more immersed first person. You know?
I just hate that like you can. There are instances where you can third person peek over a wall or around a corner or something, and the other person has no idea, and you can wait for the perfect moment to peek. And peek when they're not looking or when they turn around or when they're down.
There's some games that do it just really. There's I forgot what game it was. It was like it wasn't the SOCOM killer, but it was kind of like SOCOM. It was I'm trying to remember
Caliber?
what the heck it was. Caliber. Like it was a good camera angle where like you really couldn't peek too much. But I will say, because we're on the topic now, the camera angle in Arc Raiders is very strange.
Is it?
It's not because it's third person. I just think it's like in a weird, like, right side screen. It's like and characters more on the left. Kinda, but even Battlefront had a first person mode. So like Battlefront, you could switch between. So you could just avoid that. So, but yeah, Arc Raiders was like, and that's what's crazy. And we're on the topic real quick, but like that, and the way the engine's running on that using UE5 is incredible, man.
And it's like, dude, you 100% can tell what happened to Battlefield 2042 because all the Chads went over here.
Oh
Cause
my
like,
gosh, seriously, dude.
dude, it looks so good. It runs so good, man. Like,
And
holy.
it's probably one of the, I would say, like, because I'm lucky that I got into the test and I just been kind of just playing with some friends, but the audio in that game is really well
Yeah.
done.
Man, they
Like,
just I haven't seen a game like a playtest or something get like this much praise on social media.
true, I
It's
haven't seen, other than people arguing about third person or just weird camera angles, but like everything else surrounding it, from the performance, the gunplay, the map design, the audio design, everything about it, I've just seen so many good things about it. So
yeah, it's been pretty crazy. And it's like if you told me, like if you said how's our creators gonna feel on release, I would be very concerned about it because as you guys know, um they stopped. It was gonna be PvE, and they switched midstream, delayed it, said they're making it PvP. A lot of people are like, oh no, and stuff like that.
yeah,
So like you just have to, I was like, oh man, switching like midstream to a completely different kind of genre, that can't be good. Like you never feel good about that. But man, like they just nailed it. I played a little bit of it, and
I think they did a pretty good job with it.
the
Yeah,
crafting is
and
awesome. Like, and just how, I don't know if you remember this. We talked about it on the show and I made videos about it, how they were using AI to self-train the robots and stuff in that. And you could really see that
mm-hmm.
because like the spider bots, you could shoot their legs off and they would like relearn how to walk with just how many legs they had. And long as they had like a leg or two, they
Correct.
would keep coming at you. And like how the drones you would shoot were like, if you shot one engine, like it would still kind of hover, but like
Kind of hover
low on
around
that
and
side. And
stuff.
like
Yeah,
all
that's
the,
the thing. It's like they feel like they were made for that world, which, I mean, duh, of course. But I mean, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, the robot design is pretty interesting. I like I haven't fought the, like, a boss robot yet because I just haven't had time to really get deep into it. But I've definitely, like, I think it's what, the queen. Yeah, the queen. I
yeah,
did see a clip, someone get freaking one tapped by it from like across the map. So I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just the way it is
that's
sometimes, but
just the queen, baby.
that's just the queen. So, but I'm kind of with you on this because it's like, I appreciate the game. I appreciate how immersive it is. I appreciate how much fun it is. I just want a more realistic military setting in a game like that. You know, like if you had that, but just with realism or something like that. I know, that's just nitpicking at this point, but I mean,
Yeah,
you got
but
to
this,
give credit where credit is due for sure.
yeah,
Because
but
this is
I,
like, again, this is also like, I heard maybe that they took Unreal Engine 5 and like this is like a custom version now of Unreal Engine 5 because they've just like tweaked it
it's
so much.
magical. I don't,
So like I'm very curious from behind the scenes of like, what the heck, how did you get it to run this well on a massive playtest?
it runs so good and it looks so good. Like it's magical what they did. Like every shooter game needs to
Mm-hmm.
be on this engine and this done in this way. However, you
I mean,
can,
they, and Embark Studios are great with the finals. So, like, imagine now this open scale with the destruction of the finals.
yeah. This one is, I'm
You know?
generally the same. For me personally, it's like you said, it's easier to get immersed in games that take place in our time, in our world, on our timeline because you live there,
Yeah,
right? Like a militarist,
it's just a military. It's just a personal preference
it's
for
like
us.
easy to
That's
get
all it
into.
is.
I will say though, this game is pretty easy to get immersed into because the graphics are so realistic for the world, and it's like you can easily imagine this being a future Earth, like if shit hits the
Dude,
fan.
if you can close your eyes
Excuse
and
me.
tell where someone's running.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, or hear,
it's crazy.
gunshots in the background and start hearing, those fights going on in the back, and it's just like the reverb audio coming from like across an open area, the gunshots. I'm like, dude, this is crazy to
I
hear right
thought
now.
I thought the extraction mechanics are really cool too, where you take the elevator down and you can still call one if you're downed. Like you can still like
Yeah,
limp out of
yeah,
the game. I thought that was pretty cool. It's an interesting
yeah.
mechanic. But
It can
yeah,
make for some
man.
pretty cool, like, last minute, like, extractions, like fighting and trying to defend it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, there was a lot of crazy clips going around of like last second extractions that were pretty awesome. There's
Yeah.
some pretty good clips going around. Um, but yeah, it's easy to get immersed in this because of like how incredible it looks and the sound design and the art direction is neat too. I really like it. I might be partial to it because they used a banger song in the first trailer when they used that Robin song.
It is a
I'm
pretty
in
good
the
song.
corner, like
Yeah, it is
or
a
no,
pretty good
dancing
song.
on my own. It was sorry, that's the wrong Robin song. Dancing on my own. Like I got into that trailer, so I've been hooked ever since then on the world because they used Robin. So yeah, shout out Robin. But yeah, so that's good. People are guessing. We could guess. A lot of people are thinking that it's going to come out soon because the tech test went so well, like this summer, kind of avoid the other shooters. And I think that would be kind of
It
smart.
might do a drop at Gamescom. Could be a thing too.
People were thinking Summer Games Fest, Gamescom, something
Or
like
Summer
that.
Games Fest, something like that too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be they haven't set a price yet, have they? They told us it's going to be a premium game. You're going to have to pay for it.
Uh, I thought it was it premium game? Yeah, it did say premium. So like, but what is that? $80? You think?
I did
60 between 60. I don't think we're gonna see 60 for this game.
I don't think they said I don't want to I think I'm saying premium wrong.
That's like I thought I heard 40. I thought I heard 40
Yeah,
bucks
I
as
didn't
well
mean
too.
a premium title. I just meant like a pay to play title. I didn't mean like
Yeah,
a
it's 40. It's
AAA.
yeah,
Like
it's $40. Okay, I was
they
right.
haven't
Okay,
said.
I heard it right
They
then.
haven't officially
Well,
said. They haven't
they haven't
officially.
officially said. I heard
Mm-mm.
40 then. I heard 40. Yeah. Which again, people were if you get this game, I think it's what come out right now. There was like 4 maps gonna be released with this in the
Yeah,
beginning. I don't know. So like 4 maps, all that open world area, the crafting, the leveling system, like the just the gameplay in general. I think it's a and the way it runs, I think it's a pretty solid buy if it's $40. Future content, price and stuff like that, DLCs that come out in the future. We'll see how that works out, monetization and whatnot. I'm sure. I mean, clearly there's gonna be skins in the game with like different backpack colors, different outfits and stuff like that. So like it's gonna be there.
yeah. I
It's
worry. I worry
how
a little
much?
bit about Nexon doing that, charging you a bunch for the game, and then having a ton of skins and battle passes to unlock content. As long as the microtransactions are just cosmetic, and it would suck if you had to pay that much
That's
for a game, and then
yeah.
you have to pay for like in-game stat changing weapons or maps or something.
I really hope that's not the case. Yeah. So
So yeah, hopefully it's just you pay for the game, and if you want to spend extra on cosmetics, you can. Because that's one thing that's cool for them is in this later setting, there's an unlimited amount of cosmetics you can do. Like
yeah,
the
but here's the thing too. Like also, I mean, you can go pretty crazy because again, it's a futuristic title, different, era and whatnot. But like, don't there? You have to make it fit within the world as well. I think
yeah. Well,
you
yeah.
kind
I
of get what I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah. It would be weird if they did like something from art, like if they did collabs with like Nicki Minaj or something. I'm just
Well,
using that example.
yeah, oh yeah, they did something like that. It'd be weird, but they can do like, and I'm just bringing this up like Destiny, real quick, did a like a Star Wars collab, but they fit it to where like it's Star Wars armor, but it looks like it's in the Destiny universe. So
Oh
like
well, Star Wars would
that'd
fit
be
perfectly into this because it feels like.
Star Wars would fit. Oh my god, if they do like yeah, but it's like it'll be like a stormtrooper outfit. So you got like the T visor or something like that, but or the two eyes. I'm like clone trooper, but it could be like if it'll fit in this world kind of. So
Yep.
it could be a thing. It could be a thing.
Pretty
Also, it'd be cool to play as the robots.
pretty cool. I think we're gonna try to have Rockhound Black on because he's like the dude for Embark games, and
The Embark
he's the Embark
professional.
he's the Embark guy. So we might have him on to talk about like launch and stuff with the game. It'd be kind of cool because that will get you guys all the info from him.
Did they say anything about vehicles in this?
I don't think they have said.
I feel like this would be a really cool like vehicle game too, but maybe that's too much. Depends on how big the maps get.
Yeah, it does. We'll see. People want vehicles in Gray Zone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought you said you wanted flyable helicopters, right? Right? Isn't that what you said? Huh?
I want
Huh?
everything.
Yeah. You just want to take a little bird and crash it into their cops.
Yeah, I want an off-road decked out Kia as
That'd
well.
be cool, actually. I
That'd
know
be
someone with an off-road deck Prius, so not too far off.
I would take it. It would work.
Jetpacks would be cool.
Yeah, S&D mode. I want an S&D mode in this.
Oh my god, yeah, you get an S&D mode in this game. There you go. Now you sold Crash.
All right. Time to crash. Asking for an S&D mode. 51 minutes. We did pretty good. We made it 51 minutes before I asked
Pretty
for an
good.
S&D mode.
Pretty good.
That's not bad. That is not.
I wouldn't
bad.
want a jetpack. I would want a jump pack. That's that you know, just
An
a little quick
exosuit.
boost.
Yeah. The crafting was good in this too. The guns were all right. Like I don't know, man. Like it was a pretty impressive technical test. I was technically impressed. A lot of people were.
It felt better than just a technical test. This was like, oh, this is like beta or like
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that's just hard to like wrap your head around is like there is no standardized nomenclature for pre-release gameplay. Like there's no like standardized alpha. There's no like it's all like sometimes
back in the day there used to be.
Yeah.
Like when game testing was a job, like an official job title.
Those words just like don't mean anything to me because you have like this is a tech test. And then if you played the 2042 Battlefield beta, you'd be like, oh, like
so is
you
this
would get those mixed up. So yeah, but I mean, all of that to say, what's really funny is in this topic, we've talked about Arc Raiders the whole time and have not
once
talked about Marathon. Do you kind of feel bad for him, dude? Like
a little bit because it's 343.
Bungie.
So Bungie, sorry. Wow. And I literally just played Halo. But I don't know, man. Like the lore. So I mentioned it earlier in the episode before. That it was a failed game back in the 90s that almost bankrupt Bungie before they switched to Halo. So like for them to take that was like a failing game back from the day to bring it back now, which I agree also had a pretty cool art direction and the storyline could have been sick, but it's just the gameplay and mechanics of this game. It's like what else could we want? I don't know. Like I didn't need another. It's the Cycle Frontier had more of a better gameplay loop, I think, than this game, and that game got shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I do have to say, I didn't play it. I didn't get into the test for Marathon.
I haven't played it either. Yeah, so I just watched it.
That with that, but just the sentiment you get from around is like they did a pretty okay job of like world building and stuff, but just the gameplay itself, there's nothing there. I listened to Jesse Kazam talk about it on the podcast. I listened to Clean talk about it a little bit. I listened to some other creators talk about it. And generally what people were saying is like, and Big Fry and stuff is like, you never had that intense moment that extraction shooters are for. Like you never felt like, oh my gosh, like I might die with some good gear. You never felt like any tension or anything. It was just like you can revive it anytime, even if you're dead. You have not anything like crazy loot wise and stuff. And I'm not saying this stuff can't be added. You have a really long time to kill. So it's just like all of those things, like it's just kind of like, okay, and I said I said this before. It's like you have Gray Zone has a persistent open world that we're excited. Tarkov was like the first one to do it with the in-depth mechanics and things like that. ABI has like the quality of life stuff that streamlined PvP and standard raid timer.
Heck, even Delta Force is like the casual like PvP.
Yeah, Delta Force is kind of like a well done COD DMZ. Like you have all these shooters that or these extraction shooters that kind of have their little hook, like their own thing that they do well. And this one just didn't have that. Like it had a cool.
Well, it's like, yeah, dude, the cinematics were better than the actual game itself.
Oh, for sure. I did not think the game like even looked well. Like the cinematics and stuff look kind of cool, like with the world and stuff, like where you're in the runners, like the synthetic bodies and stuff
Mm-hmm.
looked pretty cool. But like just playing it, man, it seemed. And I mean, they could add stuff. uh, I mean, there could be stuff that they could like add, to make it better. But I don't know what, man. I think Bungie's gonna be playing catch up with this one. Like if they launch it when they
Yeah.
say they are, they're gonna have to crank on this game to get people to build the community with it. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It was kind of a bummer because when you hear Bungie's coming out with something new, and you can't count them out because it's a big studio, dude. Like they've done some crazy stuff. When you hear a giant studio like Bungie is about to come out with a new shooter when they've been working on Destiny for so long, they're going to come out with a different IP. It's like, oh man, like you got to pay attention. But the other thing it had the specialists and stuff too, dude. Like, dang it, man. I'm just over the
Yeah,
specialists
and
too.
like
Like,
the PC aim assist as well too,
oh
like mouse
yeah, I
and keyboard
forgot
aim
about that.
assist.
What was that, man?
I
Like,
don't know, man. People, I saw arguments on both sides of the aisle of just like, well, you gotta like. People were just saying like, some people were saying that you have to bring the player base closer in terms of like skill, because then if not, you're gonna get shit on. I was like, you guys didn't grow up in like early days of gaming at all, and it shows,
yeah.
and it shows because who cares? You're gonna get into a game, you might get your shit rocked on because you're just some guy is aiming better than you. You know, that's just the way it is. So, to put that on a mouse and keyboard. So imagine someone who's like already good. Actually, you know what? It even had some of the opposite effect. Someone who was like who got their DPI and their settings in game dialed, and then they start playing, and then the aim assist might even throw them off.
Yeah, I don't like a world where our brains go to controller aim assist is so strong, instead of dialing it back, we just add aim assist to mouse. Like what the hell is that?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
make controllers reasonable. Like what? Like why is that a thing? And then yeah, like Rain said, there was actually an attachment I saw for one of the shotguns that statistically increased the aim stickiness of the gun. So like it increased the game aiming for you.
That's
And
insane. Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know. I think Arc Raiders is like, and I know they're two different games, and I've called this stuff out before, but like
But
just
they're both future. Okay, like, people are gonna just look at it from a general
they're gonna
viewpoint,
get
and they're
compared.
both futuristic. Yeah, extraction shooters,
Yeah.
and clearly one did better than the other, and everyone can agree. Even if you like Marathon, you could still say, "I oh crap, I think Arc Raiders is better." And people are talking about Arc Raiders right now still, and no one's. I haven't really seen once Arc Raiders came out, and people were talking about that. I saw no one talking about Marathon pretty much.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of sad for them, I guess, a little bit.
it
Like,
is, dude. It's Bungie, dude. Like that's a childhood studio. So to see them like try to almost like get on board with just another gaming fad, because that's what extraction shooters are nowadays. It used to be like a very niche. It I think it is still niche, but they're trying to make it mainstream. But then people just extraction shooters are just not. It's not a mainstream game uh mode, in my opinion.
yeah,
So I think you can go deeper into that right now, but that'd be too much. But yeah,
but you could add an S&D mode.
to be honest, I wonder if the marathon, because like you got all this world building, you could have made this a story driven game, 4-player co op. You could have added game modes on top of that, which could have just been like a team deathmatch, capture the flag, almost kind of okay. Like you're kind of copying Halo, but then also added in an extraction shooter game mode as well too on top of that, because like if that was the case, that could have been a thing. But also I think also Bungie as a studio also has downscaled for has been downscaling for a very long time. So I don't know if this was like a last hurrah, how they're doing on money. That could be an issue as well too. So and also, yeah, you still there's people still playing Destiny 2 right now, like religiously.
And there were
They're
some
still they're still doing major collabs again with Star Wars. So like you're splitting the studio up to work on not a brand new IP, but pretty much a brand new IP.
there was also some turnover at the studio and like the leadership too. Like I thought like one of the lead designers
That
left
too.
and stuff,
That
and then they
too.
switched it to a hero shooter at that time, and like that we were kind of like, ugh, that doesn't sound good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that it might not
So
be.
yeah, I don't think it was already like on they built the game on a already like shaky foundation and then just kept changing it more and more. So and 9 times out of 10, every time you hear a game go through that cycle, it's not a good outcome. So
Yep.
it you know
But
so we'll see in the future if they can crank out updates real fast and somehow get something to where it's their own reason on why you should play that game instead of any other extraction shooter out there. We'll see. But I think Arc Raiders and eventually like Gray Zone and other games like of this caliber will just like overtake it. And then who knows? Because like look at Concord. Come on, like how many millions of dollars went into
does
that
it feel
game?
that bad? Does it feel as bad as Concord?
And maybe not as bad because I mean like extraction shooters are hip. They're now. I mean, but like they made an Overwatch clone 12 years too late. Like they
That one.
Conquered was way, way worse. So, but like it could be somewhat similar. I'm not saying it's going to be as bad, but
Yeah. Hmm.
but speaking of other extraction shooter games,
Yeah, man. I really hadn't got the time to talk about it because we had a couple guests on the last couple weeks, so I didn't get the chance to talk about like season 2 of Arena Breakout. And man, I don't know, dude. It just it kind of bums me out. I was hoping for more monetization wise. The game
and by more monetization, he doesn't mean like
changes.
more
I meant
ways to spend
changes.
money.
Yeah, I meant
Give me more ways to spend my money.
I meant changes, and I'm frustrated with the balance and stuff with the game. Like if the core game itself, man, is so good. Like it's still buttery smooth. The combat is excellent. The movement's great. The grounded nature of it's really good. But I can't help but feel a little not dirty, but just like bummed out when I play it because I know that they cranked loot back up for the start of this playtest. Because they don't want people buying Cohen. They want people to be able to buy the battle pass if they're spending their budget on battle pass. Then once a bunch of people have bought the battle pass late in the season, they're gonna try to squeeze the remaining money out of people by cranking down the loot and saves, putting purples back in saves, and making it harder to earn cash, and having to do that. So I I don't know, man. It's just frustrating with how they're doing that because they left red ammo in the game. They added a gun that you can shoot red ammo cheap. They left red ammo on the marketplace, and they left thermals in. They left thermals on the marketplace that are basically, um, like Buff always talked about how he wishes they actually just looked realistic instead of just like they illuminate. They almost look like wall hacks. Like if you can see any part of the person, it's just buttery smooth cosmetic like graphics within the thermals, which really sucks. So I don't know, it just kind of bums me out. But the one gem that I've kind of have found within this game, and I know you guys are gonna get everybody take a drink, the S&D mode. There's a there's a round based elimination mode, and why I didn't even think about until the other night we played it. We won 8 in a row, dude. We won 8 in a row all night. Was it takes the pay to win out of it because everybody has to use the same loadouts. Everybody has like tier 4 armor, there's a couple of tier 5, and everybody has purple ammo. And it doesn't matter how much money's in your stash, we're using the same weapons, boys. So it comes down to like who, and dude, I've been rolling in that game mode. It's been so good because there's no, like I said, no thermals. Everybody's using the same gear. it costs 25K to play, and if you win 50K. So like you basically go up 25,000 Cohen.
Oh, you had to pay in-game money to play that game mode. I
Yeah.
wish it was just a game mode by itself. I'd be playing that right now, most likely.
Well, what's annoying about it too is it swaps back and forth between that and TDM. So sometimes if you want to go play it, you can just play team deathmatch. So it's like that's kind of a bummer too. But dang it, dude, it plays so good. I hope they add some more maps and stuff to it, because right now there's only 2 maps and there's some sectioned off areas of all kinds of maps they could use for it. I don't know. That would be a question for some folks that play the mobile version, if that's in the mobile version, and if they included more maps, if they cut out more areas and stuff. But man, yeah, it's just so frustrating to me. I'm sure they do well financially because of the design choices they make to squeeze out microtransactions. But man, I can't think of how awesome this game would be with the foundation it has if they were just a little more honest with their balancing and their practices, and like it would be really cool. And I kind of originally I had originally thought that like they didn't wipe for gameplay, but the reason they don't wipe, or for so people could, you know, kind of come in and play as they wanted to, and I thought that was a good thing. I honestly think now, with the way they balance this thing, I think they don't do wipes for the sole fact of they want people to be able to buy in-game currency, because you can't buy in-game currency and then have it wipe, right? Like you can't have it taken away from you. So I think that's the reason there's no wipe, which they might run into trouble, because it is a little weird to hop into a new season and you're instantly going up against tier 6, tier 5 Chads, people with thermals and all that stuff.
You would have to purposefully like lower yourself in terms of gear just to be able to kind of have it like a after wipe type of gameplay. So.
Yeah, so that's a little bit weird, but man, the new map's really good too. Like, dang it, man! Like Northridge is super good. It's just
don't crash, don't crash, man. Don't crash and cry.
It's just sad, you know, man. Voice cracks. It's just sad that it is the way it is. But why do you have to be like you are, you know? But
why do you have to do what you're doing?
So I'm still gonna have it in the rotation.
Why are you like this?
Yeah. Why? I'm still gonna have it in the rotation. I'm still gonna play it from time to time, but I'm thinking I'll be playing more Gray Zone.
That's kind of sad, because like this was the game that got you into extraction shooters, dude.
Dude, I loved it, man. And it's still a really good game, dude. It's still a really good game too. So, but I mean, I started out as Master 3, I think, in this one, Justin, because I think I'm almost ace.
Oh, so it doesn't even like work. Like even if you lower your gear when you go on raid, you're still like.
Yeah. Well, they still have the stupid AI operators too that everyone hates. There's like Owen was saying, there's like 3 or 4 things that everyone universally hates from the community, and they just leave it in the game. And yeah, so it's frustrating, but still gonna play it. I'm probably gonna lean more heavy on Gray Zone, but I'll still definitely play this because it's butter, man. It's buttery smooth extraction shooter. It's really good, but really annoying. And I get it. I think that's also got to be why it's not on Steam, because I still think at this point it would get absolutely hammered by Steam reviews. Like I think it would be.
I think so too. Yeah,
I think it would be pretty rough.
Steam players and Steam reviewers are just not the nicest people out there. They're very honest, maybe a little too honest sometimes.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Do you want to, dude? I don't even know if this button works.
Quick shots. It works.
It did work.
It works.
All right.
Nice.
Shout
I thought you had to open up your
team.
window and start shooting some real rounds out there.
I'll do it. Shout out production team. The first time they ever did anything correct. Man.
Thanks, production team. You'll get fed tonight.
The show's not over. Don't do that.
For every mess up after this, they get one food item taken away.
That's right. Gonna get hungry quick. So what I see some little teases on Incursion. It's been
just a little. I will say, kind of crazy the what's the word, when the impressions and views it's gotten
on Twitter,
on Twitter, because like
on X.
If you on X, I'm saying Twitter. Screw it, dude. I don't care anymore. Fight me, Elon.
Careful, he'll fire you.
Yeah. He'll come and doge me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
What was it?
thing.
It's a thing. Cause like, like I'll just say like on average, like our views are okay, like 1K, 2K, 5K, 10K is a good one, for like a video that I worked hard on. But to post like I guess people are just kind of craving for this maybe of just like different content of I don't know what you guys want anymore. But like 28K views on this post, and then it kind of even leaked over to like the post before. But um yeah, on screen. Sorry, audio listeners again. I just feel bad for you guys. I'm so sorry. We
Yeah,
always
they
like,
just
oh,
have to
check out this
listen
really
to
cool
us.
gun. I don't know how you do it. Especially all you guys that actually review and 5-star our shows. Like, wow. Um,
I see what you did
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shout out Bandito Bill too. That's true. Yeah, oh yeah. So okay. Well, before I get ahead, on the screen we showcased the AK 104, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 104, which is your 7.62 by 39 caliber AK, with a shorter barrel. And then on top of it is one of the newer optics, the Skeet IR, which is the little one times thermal scope. Pretty cool to see. There's gonna be some more attachments coming as well too. So this is like just a small little um showcase. There'll be another showcase tomorrow that I plan to showcase to send out on Twitter again. But there's that, and then also one of the newer weapons that I showcased in one of the older videos, the earlier videos, I should say, was the QBZ 95 or 7. I always get the nomenclature at the end wrong. I think it's 97, right? Me, Narenko, yeah, 97. Yeah, Narenko time 97. So the QBZ 97, which is a 5.56 by 45 bullpup for the Chinese. So it's actually one of the cooler bullpups because there's already an Ogden game as well too. So kind of looking forward to that. But just a quick little funny story too. The furniture manufacturer Sure Shot Armament Group, we have their attachments for the AK platform in our game. So we have everything from like their pistol adapter to the stock adapter to the rails to the handguard, stuff like that. And their Twitter account apparently got deleted. It got suspended. I don't know for how long. So like the CEO of the company retweeted our post, and I was just like, I wish we could tag Sure Shot. And he's like, it was like a sad emoji face because
Huh.
it got fucking taken down. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because guns on Twitter just aren't the greatest sometimes. So um guns on social media just get wiped sometimes as well too. So that kind of sucks. But
Do you notice how this thermal looks like a thermal?
yeah, so that was like, and that's a video I'm posting tomorrow of like actual gameplay of the thermal in use. So like it when you're aiming down the thermal, it's an actual like screen inside the site, So it's like a little LED screen in there, and it actually moves around. It's like same thing with like on the sniper. There's gonna be like actual eye relief. So it's kind of like giving picture in picture without giving the horrible optimization that picture in picture gives. So there's gonna be like actual eye relief, the scope's gonna move around, stuff like that. So really excited for that. And then below that tweet as well too is our showcase of the audio that's coming into the game. So like a lot of people, that's like the biggest complaint is the audio in the game. And I was just testing it today too with our lead director, and we were just going through and like hearing gunshots around the corner and actually like hear a firefight happening because he was fighting somewhere else and I was in another section um of the bunker, and like hearing the way the gunshots work and the reverb audio. Like the reverb is like is my by far like my favorite part of the new audio overhaul update, because like, and it's not just, again, it's not just an audio update, it's just like an entirely new foundation of the game, plus new content, plus new weapons, plus new attachments, plus new UI. Like everything is getting just like completely uh like 180 almost. Like it's gonna be really cool to see. That's why I can't wait. I know we'll have some testing coming up soon. I can't say exactly what date yet, but pretty soon you'll see your favorite content creators, including on this channel, get first access. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys showcase and think about it, and actually see the work that's gone into it. It's also Unreal Engine 5 as well too. So, and that's another thing too. It's like what makes the game different as well too compared to other extraction, because like that was one of the tweets. One of the comments under it was like, oh great, another extraction shooter, you know.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh great, another one. And I was being slick. I was like, you goddamn right, with like the Heisenberg meme. um but it's funny because like the game technically released a long time ago. So but yeah, so just excited to show it. I was gonna say something afterwards, but I forgot. But regardless, just excited to
Heck yeah.
showcase it to you
And yeah,
guys more.
we talk about like things that
Oh,
make it
because yeah, because you got me here. What makes it different, and like it's a single player co-op PvE only.
yeah,
So
that's what I was gonna say.
it's like we were just talking about it too, of like what makes our game different, and it was gonna be the whole like slower paced immersive extraction shooter that you don't have to worry about hackers and aim assist, and all that fun stuff. So it's just, but in order to do that, you need to make the AI really good. You need to make the world really immersive. So, which I think, in my opinion, just from seeing behind the scenes, is going to be like, I keep hyping it up. So I really hope, I really hope it lives up to that hype in
Yeah.
general, that I've built in my head, because it's just, man, like we were even going to play the old version just to showcase on stream. And, what was it? I can't play it anymore because I've already tested the new build so much that it's just 10 times better. So yeah, and no S&D mode coming. Maybe in a mod. I don't know. Maybe someone mod it, but
Can you put in a
sorry,
good word
Crush.
for an S&D mode?
I'll put in a good word. I'll put in a good word
Sounds
just
good.
for you. So we'll have to make it a whole new build, but it's fine.
Totally worth it.
Yep, yep,
Totally worth
yep.
it. Uh, yeah, man. I think I was going to talk a little bit about a couple Battlefield leaks to end the program today, but
Yeah, I mean, another quick shot for Battlefield. At this point, we all know for sure that the leaks were on purpose.
and then
At this
in
point,
the earnings call, they talked about how this summer we're going to start to hear more about launch and like when it's going to be and stuff like that. So it's just really like probably going to release this year, especially with GTA 6 getting delayed.
dude, I saw that tweet of what Drewski posted. It was like, look, they're retreating. We won, because now games can release without like
Yeah.
the umbrella that GTA 6 will just cast a shadow over them. So
Yep. Yeah. So
which that
just
trailer was sick, by the way.
all I really saw was just some we saw the rocket shoot down the chopper. That very looks like Battlefield 4-ish, so that'll get people excited. The defib revive is like really fast to revive
Zap,
people.
you're up.
Yep.
It's too quick
Back
in
in the
my
fight.
opinion. Hopefully they fix that a little bit. I liked the charging up to full 100. I know Battlefield 3 was just like you're up, but I liked you had to sit there and charge it up, and if you didn't, it only gets you up to like 75% health, like Battlefield
Yeah.
4. So
Yep. And then the takedown animation, so you'll be able to knife people. You can drag your friendlies to revive them, so that's going to be huge. That's also coming to Gray Zone. But that's been talked about in Battlefield for a long time. That was in the leaks before 2042. But yeah, it's got the takedown animation where you take the dog tags, so you can get your dog tag collection up. And Yeah, I mean it just looks really good. To be quite honest with you, it looks super good, but I'm still man, for me a lot of my from what I've seen to take me from being like, "Oh, it looks pretty good" to "Oh my gosh, let's rock" is the server browser, and I don't know if that'll ever happen again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I'm kind of like that plus just get me in the game at this point. I need to test it for myself because it looks the leaks look great. It it gave me very strong Battlefield 4 vibes on that map in particular, with like in the mountains and the snow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I'm just again, yeah, server browser is pretty much also I think the one thing holding me back of being super hyped for it, because if that's in there and then there's like even if there's also a portal mode, which would be sick as well too, but if there's a server browser specifically, that'd be cool. But we got no word on the server browser yet, and I don't know we'll
There's data
hear
miners
anything until after.
data miners said there was a server browser in the files, but that could just be for Portal because it's also been
I'll
hinted
wait.
that Portal will
Yeah,
come back.
I'll
So I
wait.
mean, technically 2042 does have a server browser, but yeah, the reason
Yeah,
I really
until
want
the game updated and all the servers died. So
yeah.
yeah, and need to rent servers too. Yeah, that's another thing too.
Yeah, the reason I want a server browser is because it unequivocally removes any thought or indication that they could have skill-based matchmaking, and that's what I want. And also with the map rotation, so you could like pop in on the maps that you want to play and stuff was really nice. So yep, we will watch it, but I would feel like we're gonna get Battlefield Labs also said they're gonna get more a wider playtest is gonna get going. So like they're gonna start inviting more people, things they feel like they got kind of the base mechanics of the game figured out. So yeah, man, it's looking pretty good so far. Yeah, I I think that's a show.
Yeah, yeah, we covered a lot. We definitely talked a lot more about Arc Raiders and Marathon. That's for sure.
it was a
Um,
little it was a little lopsided. Dang it, man.
yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
oh, I just cringe a little bit for marathon, man. Like, oh, it's not good. It's not good.
I know we'll talk a lot. I think what was it? Not this week, but the week after. Because like the week after is on the 22nd is next next week Thursday. Um, and that's the day after the playtest is done for Grazon Warfare. So I know that's a big show I'm looking forward to as well. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Who knows what happens by this time next week? We'll see what happens in the gaming sphere.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure I feel like it's like I always say like, oh, it's gonna calm down a little bit, but then something happens
Yeah,
and then we're
something
talking
always
about it on the
happens.
show.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know.
with that being said, this would be the perfect opportunity to let you guys know there is a scope section in my Discord. So if there's news stories you guys want us to talk about, maybe we missed something, you can drop links to that in my Discord. There's like a scope stories section for the podcast that we can we look into, and we have a lot of awesome folks that drop stuff in there. So because sometimes it's hard for us to keep up on everything, but um, yeah, that is in there. So that helps us out a lot, as well as sharing the show and also dropping those 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify help us a lot for the audio version. And yeah, man, we
Oh my! I totally forgot about this quick shot.
okay, go.
Did you see the new extraction shooter that the people that made Hell at Loose is making?
No.
Crap! I totally forgot about that. And this is like literally like probably a competitor to Hunt Showdown.
Wait.
Hold on. Hold
Wait, I
on.
did see
Someone's
it.
gonna oh my gosh. I totally forgot about the name of that. It's it's another
The
PvPvE
Hunger?
extraction shooter. Yeah, Hunger. Yeah. I can't believe. Sorry about that, guys. I wanted to bring that up. I knew I was like, I'm forgetting something. I just couldn't think of it. I was like, oh yeah, another extraction shooter. And it looks
Yeah,
so freaking
yeah.
good, dude.
That's what we need. All right. Well, maybe we can talk
We'll talk
about
about,
it.
I feel like we'll talk about that next week, because I'm sure there will be some more info come out,
Yeah, we
hopefully.
need to try
So
to remember to talk about that next week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
Have you played Hunt Showdown in a while? Probably not.
No, I
Probably been a
haven't.
minute.
It's a great game though, but It is a great game, but I don't have time for it.
What is time? What is gaming nowadays
Who
when you're
knows, dude?
as an adult?
Who even knows? Anyway,
All
yeah,
right.
we'll call that a show. We'll check that out and look into it for next week, and we will see you guys then. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.